3270. This is an audio podcast on how to do this class. So I'm logged into Canvas. My Canvas might look a little different than yours because I'm the teacher. So this is getting started. How to do this class. It's a written explanation how to do this class. Canvas how-tos. This is what Canvas wrote to help you navigate through the class. Virtual lab instructions. These are the instructions of how to get to virtual lab and how to print off your results when you do the Lindsay Jones clinical simulations that are due in this class. This faculty addendums and orientation is what Lisa gave you to Intermountain Healthcare for when you go into hospital and the things you need to know. I thought I'd put them here. And they are also in the 3270 class. 3770, which is your clinical section for this to adult critical care. This is a syllabus. We'll go over it, and this is what you're watching now. That's a link to the podcast. So we'll click on this and it will download your syllabus and I'll explain it. Okay, these page numbers are a little bit different now, but generally this should be pretty good. These are, it is the ACLS section. I think I switched that for the textbook, that little ACLS book that you're getting. Here's some reference material, and this is what you got in the clinical module that has the paperwork for Janelle's class and adult critical care and Lisa's NICU clinical paperwork. So it's a white section which is in the middle. There is a VDVT worksheet that we'll do in class, and the new Lindsay Jones situational review and pathology review that will help you with your clinical simulations. In the 3770 section, there'll be all of your paperwork, which is also, I put in this in Canvas just in case you're in clinical and you forget to take your paperwork. You can download it from here and print it out. And then in the back is all the pass-offs that you will do in lab and that you will get signed to pass off in clinical. So don't forget to pass them off in clinical. And there's only 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is basically telling you the purpose of this class, and it's to learn how to function in the ICU as a respiratory therapist better. Textbooks are your Kettering textbook that you got last year, and workbook, and the ACLS little book that teaches you how to do ACLS that you've had from last year also. The class time is, this class is done in roughly 3 weeks, and I'll go over that in a second. There's CHI-TESTer exams, homework, which is your Kettering workbook sections. There's patient evaluation, so every time you come to lab, it will be like clinical. You will sign in to your log sheet and you will give the instructor, your teacher, a student evaluation, so you'll be graded every day. So you learn how to do the paperwork in this class, so when you go to clinical it should be identical. These are the 10 computer simulations that's due for this class that you can find on the virtual lab. If you're having a hard time getting on the virtual lab, call 801-626-7777 as soon as possible so you can get onto the virtual lab from your home on the internet, or if you would like, you can do them in our computer lab. Those simulations in our computer lab, they're on the computer, so you don't have to access the virtual lab to get to the simulations. There is a final exam also, and it's comprehensive. You need to get a 75% or higher to pass. It's self-proctored, and it's the same questions that you've seen last year from Kettering in certain sections. This is the grading criteria. And this is the disability statement. So if you need accommodations, please talk to me or call this number and arrange for that. This is just a little worksheet so you can record what you've done. And this is what is due. So for Monday, it shows Kettering mechanical ventilation section. So if you have any questions there, you can bring it to class. What's due on KaiTester is your pass-offs. So the pass-offs are similar to your first semester in respiratory therapy. It quizzes you so you know the steps to these pass-offs that we will do appear and pass off on Monday, or each day that these quizzes are due. We'll do the peer and pass off. So the art lines are due today before class typically. That's what it says on Canvas. Spontaneous parameters also are due, and that's spontaneous parameters through the ventilator. There's a waveform lecture worksheet that's in Canvas that you can read over that will help you to do the quiz that's due on Tuesday, or excuse me, on Wednesday. So we will go over, we'll close the syllabus and go to Canvas, or we'll just go through the next page in Canvas and you can see the other forms that you need to get to. Doesn't seem like that will work, so let's go to Home. This is your clinical time log that you will find in your module for clinical for your BS year, but I also put it here just in case you lose it and you need another one. So you put the name in fall 2012. These are the pass-offs that we will do in lab and what you would do in clinical. This is the paperwork you have to do in class. Your clinical time log, you have to turn in a student evaluation, and on the back you have to complete what it has on the back. We'll go over that and complete the assigned pass-offs for today. In clinical, you need to do all of these things, which is basically your clinical time log, your hospital eval, a case study, 1 per clinical week, so you have 3 in total. You have a report, and that's on page 7.6. You don't need to turn it in, but I urge you to, if you don't have a method or a system for doing report, you should take this to clinical so you can see, so they can see that you're doing report, so they can give you full points on that. Your student evaluation, and on the back is your clinical therapy record and your MD contact time, and you will be in the ICU with many doctors, so you should be getting MD contact time without problems. And there's a separate eval for the intubation eval or rotation, and I'll show you that. And the pass-offs, you need to get those signed by your preceptors. So when you're in lab, you start like Monday, you'll put in your class rotation, which will be lab, time in, time out, total time, cum time, and then your lab instructor can sign that. Once you start to go to clinical, or when you start your continuum of care clinical, you can start logging in your hours for here. Since you can log 2 different rotations, the 3780 here and 3770, you won't have to keep your cumulative total. Well, you can if you want to. Just put your hours for the day. And there's 2 sides of that, so that should give you enough room to sign in all your clinical times. This is your new evaluation form. The hardest thing is for you to remember to put your hours in clinical and have your clinical instructor sign that. This part is the same. We made a little different section right here so your clinical instructor can help evaluate you on things you need to improve on. You fill out this back of observed or performed procedures that you have done, and this is your MD contact time. I don't know why I added a 3rd page here, but you don't need that 3rd page. I'll try to delete that. The next page is a case study. The case study is just like we did in your AAS level year, and I made a video podcast on how to do that too if you forgot how to do it. Next page is, let's see what we have. Oh, this is a separate eval when you go to your intubation rotation. So you can take your log sheet, and then you can take this, the facility's name, which would be either the McKay-Dee Surgical Center or the Ogden Regional OR, your name, the evaluators, the date, hours, and clinical, and that they will, at McKay-Dee Surgical Center, it's not the hospital, they will, it's just an observational rotation, so all I really have to do is sign your attendance for that. But when you're at Ogden Regional, you will be doing intubations there, and they can rate you there. But I want you to know it's just a pass or fail. It's an attendance thing. So if you just attend, you get full credit. And your goal for your OR rotations is just to see the cards. That's the hardest part. Once you see the cards, then I'm sure you'll be able to get an ET2 down it. So make that your goal. Let's see what the next form is. Oh, and I put a vent check form there just in case you want to practice that or want one of those for yourselves. So let's go back home and look at the other forms to help you understand this class. And I put some other things there like a LMA video, nasal intubation video, a chest tube video. This is jaw thrust because I think it's a good review on how to do the jaw thrust, a couple APRVs and PRVC. I think they're videos. And this is the YouTube on how to fill out your case study. So for day one, this is a written what we do. This is your art line and your spontaneous parameter pass-offs, but you shouldn't have to print those out because they come in your BS clinical module. These are the quizzes that go to this that you are to do before class, and what it does is it gets you to review this pass-off, so when you get to class, you're halfway there and you can understand what needs to be done so you can do your pass-offs very appropriately and quickly. Here is a waveform loops and alarms PDF, and you should read through that because that's the guide or the help so you can do this waveform test that is on Canvas. So let's see, what is they do on class 2, and this pretty much mimics the syllabus too. So I just put it in both places so hopefully you can use one or the other to help you through this class. Mechanical ventilation homework. So the mechanical ventilation section in Kettering is due today. This is the airway pass-off. This is the airway chi tester. This is the initiation of ventilation pass-off written. This is a initiation of ventilator chi tester that you do before class. This is a pre-test I'm having you do to help you get warmed up to getting your mind in the mode of thinking the MBRC way. Here is the Entitled CL2 quiz that's due today. This is the same Entitled CL2 quiz that you did in your AAS level. This is a link to the virtual lab because these two sims are due at 12 o'clock today, and so once you print them out electronically, you can upload them here. And this is Canvas's way on how to upload things. I'll click on it, see how it works, see if I can get it to work. Students last year thought it was much easier. So let's see. I might have to click here. I have to work on this, but usually there's a link here and you just upload the sim. So I'll work on that to make sure that works. So that should get you through your first week of class. I know it's fast and furious, but it will get you up to speed because this class is only 3 weeks long. So you are 3.5 or 4 weeks long to get you into clinical or in the ICU. One of the days is a holiday, and one of the days we are going to the U of U for BICU orientation, and I'll talk to you more about that when I see you guys on Wednesday. So if you have any questions, email, text, or call me, and I will help you understand all of this stuff. It seems like a lot. If I need to adjust timelines, I will do that, but I typically haven't had to do that. So study hard and do well. Thank you.